The Forgotten Genocide, the Holocaust of Africa. The Isaac Genocide, a horrific chapter in human history, unfolded from Somalia-occupied country Somaliland between 1960s and 1991, the beginned, immediately after the systematic occupation of the independent state of Somaliland by Somalia regime. This brutal campaign targeted the Isaac people, a significant group within Somaliland under Somalia illegal military occupation. The perpetrator was the Somalia, led by the dictator Siad Barre, and the genocide was estimated between 800,000 and 1 million Isaacs. Barre, having seized power in 1969, ruled Somalia with an iron fist. His regime was marked by authoritarianism, repression, and a systematic disregard for human rights. The Isaac people, known for its entrepreneurial spirit and independent nature, increasingly found itself at odds with Barre's oppressive rule. Barre, driven by a desire to consolidate power and eliminate dissent, adopted a policy of divide and conquer. He exploited existing clan divisions within Somaliland society, systematically marginalizing and persecuting groups deemed a threat to his authority. The Isaac people, perceived as a challenge to Barre's regime, became a primary target of his brutal policies. As Barre tightened his grip on power, the situation for the Isaac people deteriorated dramatically. Discriminatory policies were implemented, denying them access to education, employment, and basic services. The Somaliland National Movement, SNM, formed in response to Barre's oppressive regime, sought to secure basic rights and freedoms for the Isaac people and the state of Somaliland under occupation. The SNM's emergence was met with brutal force by Barre's regime, marking a turning point towards genocide. What began as targeted discrimination escalated into a full-fledged campaign of violence and extermination against the Isaac people, which is the 80% of Somaliland population. The world largely stood silent as the situation in Somaliland, the occupied nation, spiraled into a horrific genocide. The only state that spoke for the people of Isaac was the State of Israel. The document number A45264, S21283, 2nd May 1990, was officially submitted by the State of Israel to the United Nations. Acting through its permanent mission to the UN, Israel deliberately elevated documented human rights violations in Somalia to the highest international level by requesting circulation to both the General Assembly and the Security Council. Between 1987 and 1989, the Somalia government, under Barre's command, unleashed a wave of unimaginable violence against the Isaac people. Cities and villages across Somaliland, particularly Hargeisa and Burao, Berbera, Erigavo, El Afwain, Gar, Adag, Odwain, Meida, His, Gabale, Arabsinyo, Sheikh, Lugaya, Blahar, Korilugud, Da'arbuduk, and Baligubadle were transformed into scenes of unimaginable horror. As documented by the United Nations Genocide Commission, up to 250 mass graves were confirmed. Hargeisa, once a vibrant commercial hub, was systematically destroyed, earning the grim moniker, the Dresden of Africa. The Somalia military, equipped with sophisticated weaponry, indiscriminately bombed civilian targets. Homes, businesses, hospitals and mosques were reduced to rubble in a matter of days. As the documents found shows, the Somalian government planned to bomb every meter. It was confirmed that the number of combat aircraft deployed was estimated at 27, each carrying out up to 10 bombing raids per day to destroy cities. Burao, the second largest city in Somaliland, suffered a similar fate, with an estimated 70% of its infrastructure destroyed. The brutality inflicted upon the Isaac people extended far beyond aerial bombardments. Death squads roamed the streets carrying out summary executions of men, women, and children. Torture, rape, and arbitrary detention became commonplace as the regime sought to terrorize the Isaac population into submission. The world, tragically, remained largely oblivious to the unfolding horrors in Somaliland under Somalia's illegal occupation. The international community, preoccupied with the Cold War and other global crises, failed to grasp the scale and severity of the genocide. The Isaac genocide, despite its horrific scale, remains largely absent from mainstream historical narratives. Several factors contribute to this lack of awareness and recognition. Firstly, the Cold War, with its geopolitical complexities, often overshadowed other conflicts and humanitarian crises. Somalia, a pawn in the Cold War chessboard, found itself caught between the competing interests of the United States and the Soviet Union. This geopolitical context often overshadowed the plight of the Somaliland people, including the Isaac genocide. Secondly, the Somalia regime, adept at propaganda and misinformation, effectively concealed the true extent of the atrocities from the outside world. Access to the conflict zones was tightly controlled, limiting independent reporting and hindering international organizations from documenting the genocide. The lack of comprehensive documentation and media coverage contributed to the international community's muted response. Thirdly, the Isaac genocide occurred during a period marked by several other horrific events, including the Rwandan genocide and the Bosnian War. These high-profile conflicts, often receiving greater media attention and international condemnation, overshadowed the suffering of the Isaac people. The Isaac genocide left an indelible scar on the Somaliland people, particularly the Isaac community. Over 2 million Saks were forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring Ethiopia, where they endured harsh conditions in overcrowded camps. This mass exodus created one of the largest refugee crises in Africa at the time. The Isaac diaspora, dispersed across the globe, has played a crucial role in keeping the memory of the genocide alive. They have tirelessly advocated for international recognition of the genocide and justice for the victims. Despite the challenges, the Isaac people have shown remarkable resilience. Following the collapse of Barre's regime in 1991, Somaliland National Movement liberated the country from the Somalia military and rebuilded the state of the Republic of Somaliland. While Somaliland has yet to receive international recognition, it has made significant strides in rebuilding and establishing a functioning democracy. The legacy of the genocide, however, continues to cast a long shadow. The pursuit of justice and accountability for the perpetrators remains elusive. The international community has a moral imperative to acknowledge the Isaac genocide and support the ongoing efforts for truth, justice, and reconciliation.